everyone, welcome back to our channel startupplanes.com. I'm Namrata and I'm taking interviews of the CEOs and founders of several innovative startups in India. In today's interview, I'll be talking to Dr. Suresh, the founder and president of OncoSeq Bio Private Limited. He is a leader, scientist and a motivator for the past 3 decades, and he holds international experience in fostering science, innovation and collaborative culture by building and nurturing high-performing teams. OncoSeq Bio aims to help medical practitioners and pharma R&D to take informed decisions in real time to treat their patients well, or discover new therapeuticals by innovations in organoid/spheroid models. You want to know more about this business? Let's get into the video.
Hello sir, good evening. Thank you for joining today. I am Namrata. I'll be taking your interview. So if you could please kindly introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure, Namrata. Thanks for inviting me to this meeting. I'm Suresh. I moved from USA after 25 years of experience in research. I have a PhD and was working in science, pharmaceutics, discovery, R&D, healthcare, with National Institute of Health and a major pharma company called Bristol Myers Squibb. In fact, I established, along with a team from BMS, the preclinical facility in Bangalore, Syngene, and also one in Redwood City, California. Then I decided to move back to India, have my own startup. I'm currently focused on discovering new drugs and creating new platforms to discover drugs against cancer and some old age diseases. And I have two startups. One is called OncoSeq Bio, which is established in Hyderabad. Another one is called Acasta Health, and that is established in Mysore.
Right. So how did you come up with the idea of these 2 startups?
So one of the areas where I worked while I was in NIH was aging, diseases of the older people. So I always wanted to create some sort of treatment for unmet medical needs that are not addressed properly in the older people. So that is where the Acasta Health came up from. So there I focus on degenerative diseases, osteoarthritis, Alzheimer's, some cancers, and fibrosis. The second company, OncoSeq Bio, the first one which I started in Hyderabad, that was mainly focused on creating platforms for screening drugs so that it becomes easy to test the drugs. And this platform is something that I wanted to create without using the animals for testing, reduce the animal use in labs, and create this novel, innovative platform called spheroids. And I have found excellent group of scientists, and I started this along with them. So these are the 2 startups. Mainly one focuses on platforms for cancer and other diseases. The other one focuses on old age diseases.
Okay. So could you identify any particular market gap that your 2 products had to fit in somehow?
Yeah, so for the platforms, for instance, many people, as you know, spend a lot of time and money towards discovering drugs by testing them when they find a new molecule on several cell lines, platforms, biochemistry, and also on animals. So I thought that there is a niche area that there needs to be some sort of relevant model for testing these drugs. A human cell would be the right platform. So that is my belief. And comparing animal studies to human studies sometimes becomes very tricky, and the success rate is very less, even though it's very important to do the animal studies. So that's how we came up with this. So I think the niche area is to use human cell-based spheroid platforms for testing the drugs because it's relevant for the human body. So that's how I thought that it should be a niche area. And then in the old age diseases, many diseases are addressed based on surgeries or advanced stages and terminal treatments, but they are not met ahead with some soft treatments like growth factors or peptides, drugs that can actually minimize the inflammation, the pain, and make the life better for the older people. So these are the 2 niche areas I thought would help me fill the gap in the business currently.
Okay. So when starting out, did you face any kind of difficulties or challenges in particular?
Yeah, some of the big challenges I found in India especially was finding the relevant people, the talent to support this kind of novel science, because there's a lot of innovation in this science. And the graduates who come out of PhDs and schools in India are programmed to do science, but they are not programmed to think too creatively. Even though all the creatively thinking people, scientists actually end up going abroad So hard to find the talent. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is to get a startup up and running with all the approvals, and the ground reality is not easy for establishing a new startup for a scientist. So finding support from government, from accounting, from regulatory, and getting all the certifications and approvals and starting the initial startup. That takes a lot of time, but it's a very fruitful experience. Difficult, but fruitful.
All right. So for like people like us who have very limited knowledge about the domain, this particular domain, can you please explain your spheroid model and how this will be used in drug discovery research?
Yeah, so most of the times what happens in the drug discovery field, in the research and development, is there are several assays. They do cell lines, cell cultures, monolayers. So what happens is, for a drug to be known to be effective in the human, we have to test the drug for efficacy. That's the number one. And then we have to make sure that it is safe to use the drug in the humans. So those are the two things we need to test. So for doing that, the best possible solution is to test the drugs in human cells. So what we do in the spheroids is we take the cells from human patients or human beings, or cell lines from humans' background, and create monolayers and spheroids. So that's how we create the spheroids. So now we have cells that are forming cubical or circular or spherical structures within the plate, and then they are human cells. So when we put a drug and do some assays and measurements for biomarkers or other changes in the cells like morphology, then we are actually looking at the human cell itself for those changes. So that is the relevant model. So we want to test drugs on human cell based spherical structures called spheroids. And that is the novelty, that is the innovation we have created. There are very, very few companies in India that do that, maybe a handful of them. They're quite popular in Europe and USA. So we are trying to bring that R&D technology into the Indian market. That's the spheroid model. So, and these spheroids can be created for not just for cancers. We can create spheroids for infectious diseases, for instance, tuberculosis. We can create spheroids for fibrosis, which is getting very common and very popular because of the COVID outbreak now. A lot of people are getting lung fibrosis. And then there is a famous liver disease called non-alcohol steatohepatitis, NASH. So that is another unmet medical need. And then there is chronic kidney disease and kidney fibrosis. So we plan to create spheroids for all these disease models. So it becomes relevant for us to screen the drugs on the disease models that are developed using human cells.
Right. So as we were discussing about this medical industry, it's huge practically in India as well as abroad. And we find a lot of companies doing the same thing. So what are the three things that you think will separate or make your company stand out than your competitors?
Yeah, one of this would be innovation. The innovation in our product or the research platform is very novel, very relevant. Number two is it can leapfrog all the other researchers. If there are pharma companies and CROs that want to use this technology, they can work with us. We provide that service, as well as we can also partner with them. So we can actually enhance the speed of the discovery process in the pharmas in India. So there are a lot of pharmas involved in discovery. They don't have innovative platforms, so we create that platform. So innovation, speed, and the time that we save to get the approval for the drug, to measure the efficacy and safety of the drug. So we don't have to wait for long-term animal studies and everything to get the preliminary results. So I think innovation, speed, and the important gap we feel is also that we reduce the timeline for bringing the drug to the market. So that's the advantage.
Okay. Also, I would like to know that when you are being associated to vendors or you're collaborating with external vendors, what are the parameters you judge them upon before getting them on board? Be it like medical technicians or technology-based vendors. What are the parameters that you actually evaluate?
Yeah, one of the most important factors that we established is the delivery opportunity with them, how fast they deliver. Number two is how soon they address the logistics, the challenges in shipping and transport and meeting our requirements because some of the products that we import are time sensitive and also temperature sensitive. So they cannot be outside. The cells have to reach us in short time. So logistics, time, and then of course, trust and honesty, And we always prefer partners and vendors and collaborators who understand our science and understand our technology and are willing to support by way of not only delivering the substances and reagents and consumables to us very fast, but also making sure that we are happy at the end of the day, that our scientists are satisfied with the product. So the quality is the most important thing. Second one would be them addressing our time needs and temperature needs and all these things. So logistics, that would be the second.
Okay. Also, have you planned any goals for your company, be it short or long-term goals? What's in your mind right now?
Yeah, one of the long-term goals, of course, is for us to cure many diseases that we can, all the diseases if possible in this lifetime, but at least find cures for at least 4 or 5 diseases, important diseases like I mentioned, NASH, Alzheimer's, solid cancers, fibrosis, and many other diseases, right? Infectious diseases. That would be the long-term goal. And the short-term goal would be for us to generate quick revenue and sustain the lab and hire talent. And during this process, in between what I want to convey, while we attain this short-term goal of generating revenues and sustaining the company, and the long-term goal of finding cures for unmet medical needs for older people or people with cancer, in between there is a huge focus for me, which is called the research ecosystem in India. I want to build the ecosystem in India for R&D. So I hire people and develop the talent and also train the people to think creatively, innovatively, and dedicate themselves to science. So there are these 3 things that I have in mind: short-term revenue, sustainability, mid-term develop the ecosystem for R&D and develop the people, scientists, and then long-term to find cures for at least 5 diseases.
Okay. Also, you would agree with me on this fact that when a startup grows or plans to expand, funding is an important part of it. So, if you could just walk me through the funding scenario of your startups, like have you been taking funds previously, or are you planning to in the near future?
Yeah, it's almost a very important question for any person starting a company. So the 2 companies that I started with my own funds from my family and friends, I would say, or just close family. The second company that I started in Vizag, Casta Health, has investors in them. So I actually raised funds from 2 or 3 investors at this point for the second company. Not much, but at least to start at the seed capital, I have raised them. For the first company, it is all self-sustained by my own money. But the most important thing, Namrata, as you understand, is for me to bring the company to a point by way of getting a product, getting a platform, and then showcasing the revenue so that I can excite some investors, angel investors, venture capitalists to invest. And I am just starting that process right now as we speak, reaching out to investors and collaborators. Somebody who can fill the gap that I have, like somebody with computational, in silico design, they can become my collaborators and also invest in my company. And somebody who can take the product at the end and then create a product or market like a pharmaceutical company. That could be a potential partner for at the end of the cycle. But in between, there are investors who are interested in curing diseases and finding cures, philanthropes, so they can fund, but I have not reached out to them. So I'm just starting the process of advertising my company and reaching out. I'm actually searching for good partners at this point.
Lastly, would you like to share your views, any of your views, or in your journey, would you like to thank anyone for getting things done through our platform?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are numerous people who help somebody on the way, right? So somebody coming from USA, getting new to India and then starting a startup, look forward to getting help. And there were many senior scientists at the University of Hyderabad and in my circles in pharma companies who helped me. And I would also say that there are also people outside science like chartered accountants, company secretaries, and people like you in the media and who actually support and create presentations, posters for me to think properly. And then there are numerous mentors for me from the science field who helped me. And of course, needless to say, the government of India is very different from what I have seen 25 years ago. So it's very ripe and very prone for promoting research. I think we are at the early stages of that. There are some challenges, but they are for it. And of course, there are huge challenges that happens like the pandemic in COVID, where we had to change the focus because staff could not come. we had to change our focus towards creating a platform for COVID. So we created a platform for measuring COVID and so on. During that time, there were budget constraints, and also we had to shift the focus. So there are people who helped me change that, and I actually got 2 funds, one from the US and one from the Indian government for promoting research in COVID. So there are opportunities like that. There are people who are willing to help when there is difficulty. The pandemic is a difficulty for the entire globe. That's not for me. So I think there are many people, needless to say, there are umpteen number of people who needs to be thanked, and I wholeheartedly thank all of them. And of course, my staff and scientists who I hired, they have been dedicated. They have belief in me. And as a leader or a CEO or managing director or whatever you want to call me, I am a scientist at heart. So that's my beginning. So I understand the scientific needs, and they help me. I try to inspire them, be totally honest with them, and have a sense of humor, guide them, lead them, and encourage them to be creative. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of failures. Take the risk, and I am there to back you up, and I'm behind you for taking our product out, inventing new things. So this kind of support comes from my staff and my scientists because of their belief, and my mentors because not only they believe in me, but they also want to help me. And there are numerous people to thank. So I thank everyone.
Well, that will bring us and bring to an end to the session. But it was lovely talking to you. Thank you for taking out your time and speaking about your startups through our platform.
Thank you, Namrata. Thank you to Startup Lane for having me on this meeting and making sure that I speak something about my 2 companies. The first one is OncoSeq Bio, and the second one is Acasta Health. Both have websites, so please ask your viewers to go there, visit them, and see if they can actually understand what I'm doing, and also if they find ways to probably collaborate with me. I will be more than happy to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Namrata.